about that. All right, there's an update on the Lizzo case, so let's get into this. It's been reported that Lizzo will now be countersuing her former dancers who accuse her of sexual harassment, weight shaming, and creating a hostile work environment. Now, the countersuit comes after the release of photos that show Lizzo's former dancers seemingly happy and comfortable in the presence of the performers. Lizzo's lawyers told TMZ that the photos contradict the dancers' claims of being forced to participate in alleged sexual acts with nude performers. What do you think of Lizzo's countersuit against her former dancers? Al, what do you think?
It's sad, but it's brilliant. But let me ask this question, soulmates. How many of us can say that we've never forced a smile around our boss? Now, let's be real. How many of us grin and bear it when that boss is in the room because we have to? So I think this is foolish and I think it's ridiculous. But it's simply smart because it's the same thing Jonathan Majors did in his case. Sue the people back. Wear them down. Make this a very lengthy and costly litigation for them. They know those dancers can never financially go toe-to-toe with Lizzo as far as making this go a long ways, making it cost a lot, making this go away. On top of that, Lizzo went out and hired Marty Singer. Now, Marty Singer, everybody, is probably one of the best lawyers in all of Hollywood. He represented me at one time. He represented Michael Jackson, Kim Kardashian, Tiger Woods, Jonah Hills, Oprah Winfrey, Jim Carrey. So she knows exactly what she's doing in order to make this case go away or diminish those dancers. And that part, I don't feel like it's fair, but only in America can you buy your freedom like this. But I will say this, and I'll say it here. It does not make me feel comfortable that you have multiple allegations. It does not make me feel comfortable that this is a strategy that you're going to take. And if you don't do right by those young ladies, I'm still going to feel the same way I feel now, which is that I don't believe you.
Tanya Christopher said photos don't necessarily mean they're happy, and that's 1,000% right. Like, that doesn't mean that. That means nothing about the vibe there. Q, what are your thoughts?
You know what? Lizzo is playing the game right, and it's to go out of her way to discredit them. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to take much to discredit those girls. I don't know who did the media prep on that one girl, but the one girl that said, and if you don't fall, I'm paraphrasing here, she said, if you don't fall in line, you don't get to go on private planes and personal parties and tropical locations. When that girl said that, I was done with this whole case, because what it gave to me was you are not part of her favorite flock, and now you're trying to reverse engineer a lawsuit. That's really what it was giving. High school, I'm not part of the cool clique, and now I want to sue her because I tried so hard for months to be cool, and she won't let me in the clique. Do I think Lizzo was a mean girl? Absolutely. Do I think the situation was cliquey? Absolutely. Do I think perhaps it was uncomfortable for some girls who cannot penetrate their way into the inner circle of the clique? Absolutely. But I just don't necessarily think it's lawsuit worthy. And I'm not a proponent of grown people talking about they were bullied, right? I don't like that, because
no, I think they're saying they were sexually harassed.
I get
this is a sexual harassment case.
But follow me here. Follow me here. I get that you want to go to Hollywood. I get that you want to, be famous. I understand all of these things. But it would seem to me that if all of these things were happening to you, you would quit your job. There'd be no way in hell I would show up to this job every day and one of y'all were making me feel uncomfortable, a producer making me feel uncomfortable, and I would just stay here and deal with it.
You also have other options.
You're questioning their allegations of sexual harassment then?
Yeah, the whole banana, you talking about the banana, eating the banana out the crotch and that part?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, I am. I'm going to tell you why I'm questioning it, because that seems to be part of the je ne sais quoi of the cabaret show thing that they were at. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she walked up to them in a locker room and grabbed their crotch. You know what I'm saying? And I get maybe you didn't want to do it. I don't know. This whole thing is just, it's sticky for me. I'm not sitting here believing that those girls were scared to come to work because they thought their coochie was going to get touched. I'm not believing that.
You know, you never really know though with these things. And the more wealthy entity can make you look any old kind of way. And I'm not saying these girls are right or wrong, because I don't know. I haven't read enough of this case to know. But you have the luxury queue of making a whole lot of money outside of this. So if we were making you feel uncomfortable, you could easily leave and not give a damn. You made that very clear that you can do other things, like you're good, right? The average person can't really do that. And if that's your only thing, and I mean, for a plus size dancer on tour, there's not a lot of spaces for that, right? I think that's the only tour I've ever. Have y'all seen any other tour? I've never seen any other tour like that. So I understand feeling like, I'm uncomfortable, but I need the job, but I don't like this part. I get the mentality of that. I guess time will tell if they have a legitimate case. I do know it is really hard to prove this. And it is multiple allegations. JB said Lizzo never denied the allegations.
That's right.
Therefore, she is admitting something happened. Marsha T said, I've always side-eyed Lizzo. All her shenanigans are just foolish. And Incog said, nah, Lizzo was guilty. She sat on this for a while before responding. Now, we ain't jumping on that bandwagon. We don't know that. But I do think that it is very easy to make the broker person look crazy and like they lying. And it's easy to believe our faves. So I guess we'll find out. And I do agree with you on what you're saying about the other things. That stuff should not even be a part of this. The perks, that should okay, and it doesn't help your case. That's a little bit.
I just think that's just not being media savvy and saying things. She should have talked that over with someone. I
don't know. It just felt like that was her main grievance, though.
I think that may have been her examples, but they weren't. She wasn't. I just feel like she wasn't coached through that properly. And it landed horribly. But I tell you what, you don't go hire Marty Singer because you feel like you're 110% innocent. Let's be very clear. You don't spend that type of money if people don't have a case. That's how I look at it. Claudia, when's the last time you spent $1 gazillion for a lawyer if you didn't have a case, if there wasn't a case? If you were 110% clear that you did nothing wrong, why did you go spend all that money? Why did you go get that heavy hitter?
I got whatever lawyer because I had such a solid case. It wasn't I didn't have to get the heavy. And I will say this about the media, right? And we're part of this. A lot of times when we're picking the quotes to go over, we're gonna pick the thing that's like most outrageous. Like she was tripping that she didn't get the perks. And sometimes that is the fault of the media putting that out there and not necessarily what she may have wanted to lead with. So I just want people to just kind of keep an open mind about that.